Welcome back, Nail Queens. In today's video, I'm going to tell you all about the pros and the cons of using gel polish in an airbrush machine. So first of all, I want to thank PELCAS, the brand who sent me this beauty airbrush system. I'm very grateful they sent it to me. I personally did not budget for one of these. They can be quite costly depending on the range of where you're looking to shop for one. Airbrush machines basically are used for a variety of things, but the most common in the nail industry is for doing ombre designs. It makes doing ombres a breeze. So here I'm unboxing everything that PELCAS sent me. Thank you again, PELCAS, for sending me these things, and I'm reading the service manual to make sure I understand all of the components, how to use this product. And one thing I do want to note is that here on the how to assemble instructions, it's telling you to use a milk-like consistency of whatever liquid you're using to pour into this little liquid cup. So keep that in mind. I did go to Amazon for this airbrush nail gel polish kit, and I purchased it for two main reasons. One, the brand PELCAS doesn't provide any kind of gel polish product to use with their airbrushes, and I'll link their website so you can see what they recommend using it, usually for makeup and stuff like that. Another reason is because this brand on Amazon, you don't have to dilute this with acetone, and I'll get into that later. So I'm going to assemble the airbrush machine. It says to put the handpiece on the compressor. So the handpiece is also referred to as the gun, and that is what I'm spinning on top of it right now. It's the handpiece and the compressor. And then next I'm going to put the fluid cap right here, and that's where the liquid goes into. And from what I've seen in the nail industry, people put gel polish in here and acetone in order to thin it to get that milk-like consistency. But right now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to paint my swatch, my nail tip right here, with 2 coats of El Rey from Madame Glam, and then we're going to get into the airbrushing. Now I'm just going to do little text instructions on the like the video, and the rest is going to be the pros and cons. So I'm not going to voice over what I'm doing. That's going to be written on the screen. So the main pro to this is it's going to be like literally the fastest ombre you've ever done. I found it to be very, very easy. For the main con is it's time consuming to clean the machine. So in my personal opinion, I don't think the time I'm going to spend cleaning this machine is really worth it. It took me a lot of time, I'm telling you. And if you don't understand all the components, you could make something fall out of place that shouldn't fall out of place. I would say the next pro to this is that if you don't use it for nails, you can use it for so much more. It's also advertised for using as like painting. I don't know why it's advertised for barbers, but it's also advertised for cake decor. And I imagine, because they have other airbrushes on their website, that it can also be used to airbrush on makeup, which is really, really nice. I had my makeup airbrushed on for my wedding, and it was like the most flawless finish I've ever had. So that is cool. And while you can airbrush makeup on people, one thing that you have to consider if you are doing airbrush nails on yourself or a customer, a client, is gel and skin will not be a good combination over time. I personally have developed a skin allergy to gel polish, not all, but most, and I don't recommend this to literally anyone, to expose yourself to gel polish, because you can develop contact dermatitis, and trust me, it can get really, really ugly. It's very, very painful, and it's just all around, I don't recommend this to anyone. So if you are doing gel polish airbrush, I recommend, first of all, wearing the proper PPE, meaning wearing gloves in a well-ventilated space, wearing a mask, all those things the same way that you would if you were using an airbrush to paint on a wall. You would wear all this PPE, right? And I'm going to get into a little bit more. So if you look at my glove right now, look how much gel is coming off of my glove. Imagine if that was your skin or your client's skin. You don't want this stuff to come in contact with your skin, because over time you're going to develop contact dermatitis. It's a big, just like, no. I'm not trying to develop like fear mongering on anybody, but I think everyone deserves to know the pros and cons of this. And mind you, Another reason it's a huge con is because most people will not buy the gel polish that doesn't need to be mixed with acetone. What they'll do is they'll put gel polish inside the little fluid cup, and then they'll put acetone in there to dilute it to get that milk-like consistency. And we have to remember that safety is of the utmost importance, so if you're using an airbrush machine and you're putting gel polish and acetone in here, you have to remember that using the airbrush machine is basically making those two chemicals airborne. And I'm not trying to promote fear-mongering or saying you should not do this. I don't know enough of the science behind making acetone and gel polish airborne. I don't know the negative effects that this might have, if any. However, I do know that I have a platform here and I don't want to promote something that could potentially be unsafe. So I think this machine is really, really cool. I definitely want to try it out with like maybe acrylic paint in the future, or I don't know if, no, nail polish would dry too fast. Well, acrylic paint dries too fast too, now that you think about it. Maybe if the nail industry came out with a product that we could use inside of our airbrush machines for nails that wouldn't dry super, super fast, would achieve the same results as gel would, but they could guarantee somehow that this would be safe for use on skin, you know, like makeup, then that's something I could definitely get behind. I would be very, very excited for a brand to come out with this kind of product. And what I'm doing right now is basically cleaning out the the needle area. I don't know what these things are called. I'm sorry, I'm new to this. But I'm basically trying to clear it out and get all of the green gel polish out of here. And again, the reason why I chose this gel polish airbrushing kit is because it was advertised as not needing to mix with acetone in order to thin out the gel, which I did not want to involve acetone in this process at all. I'm gonna be honest. And I do not enjoy cleaning this. Is this a lot easier than doing an ombre the hard way? Oh yeah, cleaning this, a lot easier if you're only working with one color. If you're working with multiple colors, you might not have as much fun cleaning this over and over. Oh, by the way, I didn't clean it that well, as you can see right there. So let's fix that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not that easy to clean, especially if you don't have teeny tiny fingers to get up in that well. I watched some tutorials because the instructional pamphlet wasn't that helpful in my opinion. I did watch some tutorials on YouTube on how to clean this. Tons of information out there. And yes, I am using acetone to clean this. Thank goodness these parts are not plastic, because I could imagine over time it would deteriorate. I hope that it doesn't deteriorate these pieces, but you never know. So yeah, cleaning it, quest. It's a quest. And by quest, I mean a pain in the ass. Sorry, cover your children's ears if they're nearby. Okay, so I'm very happy with how clean it is now. It's cool. I will say it's cool. This was fun to use. It was really easy to, let me not turn that on. So all in all, this airbrush machine worked incredibly well. I put a matte top coat on these nails. I love how everything turned out. And I did want to put those pros and cons out there for anyone watching this video, because the last thing I want to do is promote something that might potentially be unsafe. And by the way, the airbrush machine itself is not unsafe. It's the mixing the chemicals of the gel polish and the acetone that makes it unsafe. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Definitely open for constructive criticism, any advice, feedback, anything. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.